they'll wind up getting it right at some point. Cleveland's getting it right, even though I don't think they got it right with Mayfield. And people could say, well, look what he does on the field. Listen, what he does on the field is one thing. He still makes questionable throws, but what quarterback doesn't? But again, for me, it's not. It's more of the fact that A, he's in my division, so I already have to hate him. Okay, it's just a given. If you're a fan of an AFC North team, and it's the same thing. If you've been a Cleveland Brown fan for like 30, 40 years,
you hate the Steelers, don't you?
You hate the Steelers.
You hate Ravens, Bengals, all that.
You hate them, but see, the difference is I've seen Browns fans. They'll say they hate the Steelers, but respect certain players on them. And for me, there are a couple of Browns players I do like. Nick Chubb being one. He's got a future ahead of him. He's going to be one of those running backs. He stays healthy. He's going to break some records.
Poor Frank Gore.
He definitely is.
Concussion. Hopefully he'll be back.
Frank Gore needs to just retire at this point. He's just done.
He wants to break the record. He's not going to break the rushing record, man. Hang it up, man. Hang it up.
He's got to retire at this point. But
he'll make the Hall of Fame.
But again, he's going to be another guy. Like if you were to put Fitzpatrick in the Hall of Fame, you literally have to take a stitch from this team, a stitch from this team, a stitch from this team, and just make like a Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat jersey.
Last year he was on the Bills, and that Stephon Diggs signing for the Bills was the best thing that ever happened to Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, well, that's their getting a first round draft pick early.
Yeah, but
like the way for us getting Minka was.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Bills fans, hopefully Bills fans don't come out and say, "Where's our first round draft pick?" Right there, bro.
And even as I look at these other games,
like Seattle,
Green Bay, Chicago. Green Bay, Chicago is another one. Because Chicago needs the win, even though they control their own destiny at this point. They control their own destiny. But I'm sorry, if you're a Bears fan that thinks Trubisky's taking you to the Super Bowl, even though he's mildly improved, again, Chicago's another team. They're a few pieces away, but at quarterback, they definitely fell short. Because Trubisky, I'm sorry, how are you the Bears GM? And you took Mitch Trubisky to play 16 friggin' games. It's all he played. 16 games at North Carolina, I think he came out of. He played 16 games. 16 games, and you trade up to get Trubisky, but pass up on
Mahomes,
Watson, and Mahomes, who played multiple years in college.
I want Mahomes too, bro. I want him.
Right? And they said that if the Bears didn't improve before season's end, this Bears GM was going to get fired. I don't care what happens at this point. The Bears GM still needs to be fired. Because that's a draft pick. That's almost as bad. Actually, you could put it on the same plane as drafting Daniel Jones with the 6th pick in the first round. That's how bad of a pick that is. Because could you imagine the Giants, if they actually traded up to the 6th pick and took Daniel Jones with that? You would literally be flipping every couch in the house.
No, I probably break the TV, break every TV. I like 13 TVs and I'll break every one of them.
And
I would never watch TV ever again.
This is the draft again. Like we said last week, this is the draft. A lot of teams got to get it right because otherwise you're gonna be behind the 8 ball for the next 5 years at the least.
If the Giants don't get it like somewhat right this year, bro, I don't know if I can wait another year.
Even my team's got to get it right in this draft. Because you got a lot of what ifs coming into the offseason. What if the Steelers can't re-sign Juju? What if Bud Dupree walks away? Well, actually, that's already been answered. It's already been answered. The what if? Because if Bud walks away, Alex Highsmith's filled in well.
And you guys save a lot of money.
And not only that, the sky's the limit for Alex Highsmith at this point.
Young, and fresh, ready to learn.
He's got the mindset. He's an absolute animal playing opposite T.J. Watt.
And he can mimic T.J. Watt,
and
too.
Ever since the draft, I've been saying it. He's got the build to be a Steeler for life. And if you're a Steeler fan that thinks different, you're not watching what the rest of us knowledgeable Steeler fans are watching then. Because Alex Highsmith, Kevin Dotson, Chase Claypool. I even heard, if Juju walks, we got Claypool.
Juju's not going nowhere.
Listen, we have Claypool. But here's the thing, Claypool still even needs to improve.
Yeah, exactly. He's a rookie.
There are passes that he drops that it's just like, well, how'd you drop it? But
shit happens.
You have to be. Listen.
You can't be like.
For me, I'm looking at the bigger picture down the road, and I'm looking at after Ben, and if Bud walks away, and if Juju walks away, listen, the Steelers will find another wide receiver to replace him.
I don't think Juju.
But I don't want to see Juju walk away.
I don't think Juju will. I think Juju will take any contract. He's not.
I don't think he's going to take any
not
contract.
Any.